So one of the best tips for training when it comes to running, cycling, endurance sports in general, basically all in sports, even weightlifting, it's the same thing. And that tip is do the minimum stress required to achieve the adaptation that you actually want. So what that means is, or where most people go wrong, especially when they first start running, is they come from the couch and they haven't been doing anything. They feel a little bit bad about themselves and they decide that they're going to start running. And when they start running, they start pushing themselves as hard as they can. And what happens is, even though you are stressing your body and you are, improving your body, you are making adaptations. You're stressing your body too much, way more than what's required to actually make a change. And what happens is you set yourself up for overtraining, getting sick, getting hurt. And that is why more often than not, new runners get hurt and they quit. And they have to quit to heal themselves. So, and it's really hard at the start when you first start running because the adaptation that's required is probably so small that you almost feel like you're not working out at the start. And that's why the walk to run or walk run programs are so great, because they actually improve your body, but they don't set you up to get hurt, basically. So to understand why you have to do the minimum stress, basically you just have to focus on the philosophy of exercise in general. So how it works is you can lift weights, you can run, whatever it is. When you start doing some sort of exercise, your body will try to become better at that, basically. So you'll put yourself in a stressful situation, and then when you're done running, you'll put some nutrition in your body and you'll rest, you'll sleep. And while you're sleeping, while you're resting, that's when your body starts trying to make itself better and more efficient at doing whatever it was. And so that means for running, it makes hard adaptations. So your heart becomes bigger, your VO2 max goes higher. The oxygen requirements for running at a specific speed becomes lower and lower and lower. Your body starts making more capillaries in your muscles, so it allows more blood flow to go all to your muscles, or allows more blood flow to get to your muscles. Your muscle fibers increase, your ligaments get stronger, which gets you more resilient to injury. Basically, and lactic acid. So your ability to break down lactic acid becomes better, your lactic threshold becomes better. All of these different adaptations start happening in your body, and they happen over time, and they happen with different types of stresses, different types of running exercises. So what you want to do is just do the bare minimum that will actually make some sort of change. Then you can rest the next day or that night or whatever, and the body will make the change, and the next day it'll become a little bit better or a little bit easier, more efficient at running, and you'll become faster. And once you change this mindset into doing, okay, what's the minimum I can do today to get that change, then you'll start realizing that you can do maybe a little bit less than what you thought. You'll end up becoming hurt way less in your running career, or maybe not running career, but in running in general, in exercise in general, you become less hurt, which will allow you to be more consistent with your training, which will create even more adaptations over the long run. And you'll just be a happier, more healthy runner, and you'll end up becoming more successful in running because you've figured out the equation. So it took me a long time to realize that. I used to think I needed to go as hard as I could, because if I wasn't breathing, really hard, if I didn't feel like I did a really hard exercise or workout, then what was the point, So basically the number one thing, slow down, and that is why training plans are so good. You shouldn't deviate from your training plan. You shouldn't do more. I mean, it's really great that you want to do more, but just follow the training plan, because whoever made that up for you, if you have a running coach, whoever made that for you has devised that to make you slowly build up. That's why one of the golden rules to running is to only ever increase your mileage by 10% of what you did the week before. It's just kind of a general rule. But you might find that even for you, that's too much, and you need to drop that down even less for you. Each person has different levels of injury prevention or injury resiliency. So some people are better at it, and that's why sometimes you'll read stories, or I have read stories of runners in the past, like Prefontaine was one of them, that never got hurt and he ran hard all the time. But that's just because he was really good at being he was very injury resilient. But that's not the case for everyone. Some people are very, very, delicate when it comes to stuff like that. So I would say it's probably a better approach to focus on what's the minimum that I can do today or in tomorrow's workout to get some sort of adaptation, and have that mindset, and that's going to set you up for a lot more success than the other way, which is push yourself as hard as you can. Now, on the other side of that, there's obviously a mental side to running as well. So if you're trying to do races or something like that, you're going to also want to push yourself mentally to be able to, in a race, push yourself maybe deeper than what you thought. And that is where there's probably some argument towards doing workouts that are above what you should be doing, maybe more than the minimum required, just to push you deeply mentally. But definitely when you're a new runner and you're just trying to get your body more fit, don't worry about that for now. Just focus on the minimum required stress to get that adaptation, and that's going to help you a lot in your running, in endurance in general. Thanks a lot for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you like this type of stuff, and keep going after those goals.